Hello, hello, good afternoon. Let's see. Let me get IG on here. Woohoo. Okay, here we go. Good afternoon, good afternoon. How is everybody doing out there? It seems a little dark out here. How you guys doing on this lovely, rainy, a little bit cool Thursday afternoon here in Los Angeles? I don't know how the weather is everywhere else, but normally we'll have the sunshine because, sunny California, normally we have the sunshine. Today we have some rain, which I really like because these showers of blessings is really great. I actually do like the rain, since we don't get it that often. So it's usually very nice when we get it. So how are you guys doing this lovely Thursday afternoon, which is the eve before the Christmas Eve for those of you who are celebrating Christmas? I know everybody is out shopping and doing all their Christmas stuff. So this today we just want to end this year on a bright note. This is our year-end wrap-up session, which is what I'm calling it today because we're off next week and we will be back the top of the year with some wonderful stuff for you guys. We have a lot of great stuff in store. So this is our year-end wrap-up, and just on a really nice, sweet note, this is going to be really quick, just some things that we want to look forward to get started and putting our personal finances in order for 2022, okay? So you know how we all do this. We all decided we're going to make some New Year's resolution. We all talk about what we're going to do. We all talk about we're going to exercise and we're going to do all this wonderful stuff. So when the top of the year starts, we got this all planned in place. And then, like somebody said earlier, one time we had this conversation, 2 weeks into it or a month into it, everybody fall off the cliff and we don't follow through. So today we want to talk about ways that you could clean up your personal finances and put things in effect for 2022 financially. And hopefully we don't fall off the cliff in the first month or two. We just continue on the whole year with all the plans that we put in place to get our finances in order. So I guess I wanted to end the year with this note so we can start the top of the year right, doing that stuff. And then hopefully we can just stay on that path and, get our finances in order and keep it straight, because at the end of the day, what we want to do is make sure that we keep some money no matter what we do, right? So, hey, Tash, and for jumping in here. Hello, hello. How are you? Thank you, thank you. Yes, ma'am. Hi, Miss Elaine Smith. Thank you for jumping in, girl. So what we're going to do is just talk about how we could just nicely clean up our finances, get things going at the top of the year, and hopefully stay on point with that. And I think, everything is just like a habit. Once you get in the habit of doing these things, of course, you're going to continue to do them. It's like working out. If you get in the habit of doing that, when you don't do it, you feel guilty about not doing it. So the same thing here with your finances. So you want to clean up your finances, put some stuff in place that you are going to follow, right? So we're going to talk about 3 ways to clean that up. Some wonderful stuff, just really simple ideas. There's a lot of ways you could do this, but these are just 3 simple things, and you guys are going to be like, oh my God, I didn't even think of that, right? So let's just jump right in here. The first thing today, guys, in cleaning up your finances, and this is really cute, and I love this one. So we want to start off with cleaning up your paperwork. Cleaning up your paperwork. I know you was like, cleaning up your paperwork, what does that mean? All right, so how many of you guys have a lot of mails and all kinds of paperwork sitting on your desk if it's at home, sitting on your desk if you're at work? How many of you guys have a lot of paperwork that you said you're going to get to, you're going to sort through, you're going to go through it, you're going to figure out what it is, and you just haven't? So what happens is just keep piling up, right? It keeps piling up, keeps piling up. And we got a lot of paperwork sitting up. And now I know that I have planned to clean up my paperwork. This time I will do this for sure. I want you guys to join me on this one. You want to clean up your paperwork. So you want to organize that stuff, right? Put stuff that you need aside. You just kind of organize everything. Organize, like, your credit reports or credit cards or statements or utility bills. If you are one of those folks who still get stuff by paper mail, a lot of people have paperless on this stuff. So sometimes you have the paperless and some things still come in the mail, and what we do is still hold on to it. So we still have a pile of paper, even though this stuff is online, even though it's paperless, but we still have those bills, right? We still have the statements, but it's also online. So if you're one of those folks who likes to have that physical piece of paper, Organize it. You know, make sure that all your paperwork is organized. Make sure that you have your bank statements organized. Make sure that you have all your credit card statement organized. If you're one of those people who like the physical copies of these things, have them all organized. Clean that stuff up and get rid of everything else that you don't need, right? You want to shred everything else that you don't need after you organize all of the necessary documentation. Now, how this helps with your finances, because once you go through this stuff, guys, you will find out that you have everything paid on time. Some of those bills you don't need anymore because you got them all paid. You'll be able to check, make sure all those credit cards have all been paid off and everything's been done on time. You don't need those things anymore. You can shred them off. So this is how you're going to go through this. You're going to evaluate these documents that you do have. Get rid of what you don't need, and anything that you still see that's outstanding that maybe you missed that you still have to pay, maybe our utility bills or something. Go ahead and take care of that. See, and this is what happened with your finances, because by going through your paperwork, you will realize that all that stuff there, you may miss something, right? So Lerner Smith says clean up time. Yes, it's clean up time. And then, of course, it allows you to just see clearly what is on your desk, what you got going on, right? Shred everything you don't need. Some files you don't need them past 3 years, you know, bank statements, stuff like that. You don't really need them. You can actually literally go online and get those things for several years back. And again, like for people who like to have those physical copies, you know, you wouldn't need them past a year, maybe 2 years anyway. So, you know, find out what you don't really need and shred those things. Anyone that like virtual, have something soft file, scan them, put them in a file folder on your computer where you can find those, okay? So that's what you want to do. Now, this is the one I like, right? How many times, and now you guys, let me know in the chat, how many times have you done some cleanup work and have you ran into a small check, right? Maybe someone sending you a refund from maybe an insurance company, or you know how you have those rebates that comes through from somewhere. Maybe there's a check for $20, a check for $15. How many times when you clean up, you may run into one of these, maybe a utility company, something you shut off, and then there's a refund that showed up. You didn't realize you have it. And then, of course, you know, that little check is sitting there. Maybe you looked at it. Maybe it was $15, $12, $10. You didn't think about it. Be like, I'll get to it next. And then you cover it up with all this other paperwork. How many times when you clean up, you run into these small checks that's sitting around? I know you guys, I just can't be the only one that this happened to. You guys have run into small checks that's sitting there, a rebate, a refund, an insurance refund, or something that's sitting under all that pile of paperwork. So we all are guilty of doing this. So when you clean up, you might run into some goodies. You might run into some money, right? You might run into some money. All right, Margie, thanks for jumping in there. Good afternoon. How are you? Thanks for jumping in. All right. Hey, Karen. Hey, Lane, how are you? How are you doing today, Karen? Thanks for jumping in here, guys. We are doing the year-end wrap-up. It's 3 ways to clean up your personal finances. And we're going to start by flushing out all the extra paperwork that we no longer need in our life, and organize all of our documents. And if you can scan it and put it in a soft file, if you need to keep a file, just put everything in order. All right. So that's the first point today, guys. Do the cleanup. Hopefully you run into some little checks that's sitting there that you didn't realize you do have. And of course, every little bit helps, right? Every little bit helps. Okay, Tazna says she does, right? Exactly. I know we all have. There's some stuff that's sitting there, and then you look back, it's dated 6 months ago, and it was $12 that came from somewhere. So we have all bumped into those. Okay, so clean up, you'll find some money, and you get rid of everything you don't need. Declutter. That's what it is, declutter, okay? And then in the meantime, for those of you who don't mind, set up automated billing and paperless stuff on all of your bills online for the people who don't mind that. So you want to do that as well, okay? So that eliminates a lot of this cluttering. Lerner says, got some, $3 checks? Expired, oh my God. Okay, so they expire. Okay, so then, okay, so what happened is if you got those $3 check and they expire, what you have to do, you have to send them back. She said she got, okay, can I? Yeah, you would have to call the company and have them reissue that check, okay? Because it's still good. What happens is that stuff is sitting, it's outstanding on their books, right? So if the check expired, can I? Yes, you can, you know, get it back. You call them and have them reissue the check. And a lot of times too, what they'll find out, and especially people who work in the industry that get these residual checks. I've seen that a lot of residual checks that people get that work in the industry that's sent out. and then they miss those checks and they don't deposit those checks, right? So you will get letters and letters and letters from the company. They're trying to close up their books. This check is sitting outstanding on their books. They want to get rid of it. So they would reissue that check. So you can call and get that reissued. Yes. Say Margie says, opportunity. What it says here? Okay. I'm having today and I'm having a hard time reading what Margie's saying here. Okay. I'm organizing. Oh, she's organizing. Yes. It's definitely today she's organizing. All right. We all need to be organizing, guys. I am going to be organizing for the, I want to say first time in my life, no, but that's how it feels. And then how long can you keep them? You're talking about the checks, Tajnaj. Some of those checks have some of them have dates when they expire. Some of them have dates when they expire, and I think it says that on the checks. If there's no expiration date on the checks, you can still deposit those things. But if there's an expiration date on there, sometimes it's up to 12 months, sometimes it's 6 months. But for the most part, if there's not an expiration date on there, you can go ahead and still deposit it. Of course, if there's one, then you have to call and get it reissued to you. They will love to clean their desks off, close the books on those things that the issue that we have sitting around in our clutter, right? All right. So, yeah. So that's what happens when you clean up. You'll run into stuff, and then that's money sitting there. Money sitting on the table that we can use, put in the bank if a little bit helps, right? So second thing, number 2. Set financial goals. Set financial goals. All right. So what happened is, if you set your financial goals, you know, every time you make a budget, right? You always review the budget and you make this budget over and over. And have you noticed every time you sit down and say, this is what I make, this is what I have to spend, this is the light bill, the gas bill, the mortgage, the rent, everything that I need, insurance, all the stuff I have to pay. And you always have, this is what's left, right? But how many times does it work out quite that way? Do you realize how many times, and I know I'm guilty of doing it, and I'm sure you guys have to, how many times do you add up those same bills every month, right? And add up that income every month and know what's left, but somehow, for some strange reason, what's left is never what you have left. It's just never the amount of money that should be in the bank. How many times, how many of you guys, put it in the chat, how many of you guys have done this over and over? You're constantly adding up the same bills, and you're constantly coming up with the bottom line where you should have extra money to put in the bank, and somehow it's never there, right? Hey, DJ No Side, thanks for jumping in here, right? Yeah. So you're doing that's not that she's doing that stuff today. Yes. Hi, DJ No Side. So yes, how many times you guys have a budget? You put down everything you have to pay, and all the dollars you get in. And at the end, let's say you have $500 you have left. Every month there's an extra $500. I'm putting this in my savings. I'm divvying this up into my emergency fund. I'm putting all this stuff away. This is for savings. This is for emergency. This is for my retirement. And this is for my, happy spendings. I can go out sometimes. So by the time you get doing that, for some strange reason, the math never comes out the same way. Has that ever happened to you guys? I know it has. All right. So what you want to do, again, top of the year, set your financial goals. All right. Create your budget again. Review your budget. Right. Line things up in order of what you need, not what you want. We love to go by what we want, but line things up by what you need. Evaluate everything, right? So set it up by what you need, and then start there. So if you start off with what you need, you take care of everything that you need, whatever is left, then you can have a little bit of what you want in there, right? And then you can have more money set aside for the savings. So this is how we have to do it. And we have to be disciplined. We have to be disciplined, easy to go with what you want. And we're all guilty. But you find out that stuff that you think you want, if you don't get it at the end of the day, it doesn't even really matter, because you forget you even wanted that thing, right? You forget you even wanted it. You only wanted it because you see it. This is what commercial does. You see something, you want it, and then the minute you don't see it anymore, you really didn't want it because you really didn't need it, right? So anyway, so that's what it is. So when you set your financial goals, guys, for the year, and you create your budget, again, you have to visit that budget, line things up in order of what you need to do, right? All of your regular stuff that you must pay, all of the income that you're getting in, and then what your bottom line is, that's when you divvy that up into your retirement, your savings, your emergency fund, and all the other good stuff, and then your you're happy spending money. You got to have that in there, right? I'm never going to tell you to just save everything and put it aside and don't go out and have a good time, right? So that's not what we want to do. Hey, Candy, thanks for jumping in here on here in IG. So yeah, so that's what you do, guys. So go ahead and revisit your budget. Create another one for the top of the year now, 2022. And what I want you guys to do is stick to the plan, right? Again, just like I said, we're going to exercise. We're going to do all this stuff top of the year. And in a month or two, we all fall off the cliff. When we create a budget and we create the stuff that we need desperately and not the stuff that we want, and then we have that plan, we have to stick to that. We have to try our best to stick to that, of course. Unless there's some dire straight emergency that you have to break that, then you can. But, of course, we don't want that to be the first thing you do at top of the year because all of a sudden you decided you want to do a trip, okay? So that's the second point today. Set financial goals for the top of the year, and let's jump in there and stick to it, right? So Lerner Smith says, all right. DJ no side. All right. Yes. Okay. So that's the second point today, guys. Again, number 3, cancel unused and unnecessary subscription. This right here, we are definitely all guilty of, right? You guys, I know you have subscriptions that you no longer are using, you no longer need, but those subscriptions are just constantly coming out of your bank account. You're not paying any attention because maybe it's $5.99 or $6.99 or $9.99, whatever it is. It adds up, and I'm sure we can find $20 or $30 a month of unused subscription coming out the bank account that we really don't need, right? So you want to take a look at your bank statements, look at those subscriptions, see if you need all those stuff. Hey, Black Opulence, thanks for jumping in here today. All right. Hi, Miss Proby. Hey, how are you? Thanks for jumping in. Yes, Dr. Spinner. Thank you for jumping on here. Okay, so guys, take a look at your subscription. A lot of stuff you don't need. And this is a good one. How about all the one-time subscription? You know how you would subscribe to something because you maybe need to get a contract, you need to get some forms or something like that. And it says there's a 30-day trial subscription, which is free. And then if you don't need it anymore, you cancel it, right? And if not, you're going to get charged. How many of you guys go back and cancel those things? How many of you guys? Let me see in the chat how many of you guys did that. As a matter of fact, I just did one a week ago and made a note. I have it on my computer. I don't need this anymore. I got the contract. I got the form. I don't need this anymore. And I'm canceling it. So we all forget to cancel these things. We got to go in and we got to look at all the subscriptions we don't need and cancel what we don't need. And look, it's not the end of the world. If you need them again, you can go back and resubscribe, right? You can go back and resubscribe. Again, look at stuff. You may have all kinds of, like maybe on your cable, you may have all different kind of plans on there that you don't need. You may have never looked at one of those channels, not ever. But it's under, you're paying for it, right? You're paying for it. Go back and look at those things and see if you really need that stuff, okay? So that's a lot of money we throw away. I mean, just all kinds of stuff. And again, we don't pay attention because it's $4.99, $3.99, $5.99. You add it all up, $20, $30 a month, guys. How much money is that? That's a lot, right? That could be a Christmas shopping savings for the year end, right? That's a lot of money at the end of the year, right? We have $360. We can Christmas gift shop on that one, right? So let's clean up. Let's cancel subscription that we don't need. And then that's some more money in our pocket right there. Some more money towards savings, or some more money could go into the emergency fund, right? So that's the 3 points today. Hi, she rise. So she says she hate what? She hate when she forget to cancel it. Oh my God, yes, the free subscription. I know all of you guys get caught up like that. It says free. You jump in there and you subscribe. And then you don't need it anymore, and you bill for, and then some of them bill you for the whole year. Bill you for the whole year, and next thing you know, $96 gone out to the bank account. You forgot to cancel the thing, right? Okay, so review your monthly bills. Lerner Smith said, always review your monthly bills, and that's true, because there's stuff you're probably paying for on a monthly basis you don't need. When you started off that plan you had gotten the first time, you don't need it anymore. So review that stuff. Very good point, Lerner Smith. So awesome, right? So guys, I just love this topic. Again, let's recap. We're talking about 3 ways. There's so many things you can do, but 3 ways to clean up your personal finances. This is our year-end wrap-up. I'd like for us to start off the top of the year following some of these steps and, just kind of stick to the script, right? We got to make some plans and stick to it. So plan number one, first one is clean up your paperwork. Declutter. We all have a bunch of paperwork, so much stuff coming, so much promotional things, a lot of stuff we don't need. Some of us who are getting paper bills and paper statements and paper, all the stuff, get rid of all those things that you don't need. Organize the ones you need. Organize your statements or your bills or your insurances or whatever it is that you need to have. Organize those. Shred everything else. Some stuff you don't need past 3 years. Some stuff you don't even need past a year. And some of those statements and bills, once you pay them, you don't need them anymore. For those of you who just prefer to just scan everything, put them in a file folder, create a password and stuff for that, make a note that you can find that. And then, of course, get rid of everything else, shred the stuff, shred it, okay? Shred everything else. That's the first point. Second point is set financial goals for top of the year when you want to set those goals right now. So top of the year, you start off right. You set your budget, know how much money you're going to be making, how much money you're going to be spending on all the necessary expenses, all the stuff that you need, not the stuff that you want. Then how much money you have for savings, how much money you put in that emergency fund, and then how much happy money that you have. I always have to throw that in there because, I'm about having a good time as well. But at the same time, we can't just spend everything having a good time, right? We got to take care of business, right? So Marty said, thanks, Lerner, for that, right? So, yes, so set aside a lot of happy money, okay? So you can go out and have a good time and have fun and that good stuff. All right. So that's number 2 point today, guys. And the third one, cancel unused subscriptions. Cancel those things you don't need. Go through your bank statements because they're all automatic, or your credit card, because some of them are on your credit card, your debit card. And again, if they're on different cards or different bank accounts, evaluate every last one of them and see if you really need those things. Whether it is the Norton utilities, whether it's a subscription to a channel that you don't need, whether it's some kind of software subscription you no longer use. You probably don't have that computer anymore. You probably don't use that software anymore. Go ahead and look at everything that you don't need and get rid of it. Cancel those subscriptions. And the one-time stuff, get rid of it. You used it once. You had the contract that you needed. You had the form that you needed. You no longer have any use for it. They tell you can use it for 30 days free, and then you can cancel it. So why not do that, all right? And then one thing I want to throw in on that, it has nothing to do with cancel subscription. This one right here, we're all guilty of this. How many times have you not returned that item that doesn't work? You order something, it didn't fit, it didn't work, you don't need it anymore. You have a return box that you should send it back. How many of you guys have sat on that return item, never sent it back within the allotted time, never got that credit, and wasted that money? I know. Come on, guys. Let me see. Hit the box below because I know you guys are all guilty of doing that one. We sometimes do not return the item that we no longer need, or it didn't fit, it didn't work, it's the wrong thing that we ordered, and we had to put it back in that box. They give you a return sticker. They made it very easy, and we never send the stuff back. Okay, so I'm not the only one that's guilty of this. Some of you guys, somebody join me here. All right, so yeah. So then we have to... She right says, yeah, she did that too. Yes, Tajna said she's guilty. That's right. I know we all are guilty. I'm not the only one that's sitting on return items. Yes, no side says. Yeah, he says, you're sitting on stuff. Yes, we do. We all done it, right? And then we missed the 30-day deadline or whatever it is. We can't send the stuff back. Wasted money, guys. Wasted money, okay? So that's what we want to do. So I have to throw that in there because that's cash, that's finances that we wasted, credit that is no longer back on our card, item we don't need. Some of us, which of course we do, we can give it to charity, but of course, that's what happens. All right, so that's my 3 point today. Again, I would like for you guys to make notes of these. Go back to here, listen to this video, share this video with your friends. And these are just 3 simple points that we all are very familiar with. Let's just do these things. Top of the year, let's just start out with a fresh slate and add this to your, I'm going to work out, I'm going to eat right, and everything else you're going to do top of the year. And then let's just try to stick to this, okay? So with that said, I thank you guys again. For those of you who are celebrating the Christmas holidays, I want you guys to have a very festive time. And you guys be safe. You guys have fun with your family and friends. You guys stay safe. We'll be back the top of the year with some more great information. We have a lot of new stuff in store for you guys. All the folks that are starting business, getting their business going. We got a lot of great stuff to teach you guys how to make that happen. And by the end of the year, when we wrap up, I'm going to see a whole lot of folks on here just giving all these success stories that they're going to have throughout 2022. So she says, thanks. All right. Thanks, Elaine. Margie said, thank you. Thank you for jumping in here. I want to thank all you guys for jumping in. Hi, Dr. Spinner. Thanks for jumping on here as well. Everyone over here on IG. Appreciate you guys. Great information. And you guys, again, have a wonderful holiday season. And Tajna says, thank you, Miss Elaine, for the great message. All right. You're very welcome. Thank you so much, Taj Nash, for always supporting. You guys are always jumping in here. All you guys who have always been sharing the live and just been commenting and getting the stuff out there and making use of this information, because I've gotten great feedback. You guys have definitely used this info, and it have been very beneficial to a lot of you. So thank you for the great info, Taj Nash. Yes. All right, guys. With that said, y'all stay dry. For those of you who was worried it's raining, like here in LA, you guys stay dry. And you guys have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, a wonderful holiday with you and your family. From you, what's this? You and thank you and happy holidays. Yes. And thank you too. Happy holidays to one and all. Have a Merry Christmas for those of you who celebrate Christmas. And then I will see you guys top of the year. Blessings to every one of you guys out there. You guys take care of each other and take care of yourself. Hi, Inez. Happy holidays to you. Thank you, Lerna. All the hearts and loves and Christmas tree. All right. Thank you, guys. Stay safe. Okay. Take care.